Hello everyone, my name is Okwande Yanoloa and you are welcome to my YouTube channel where I'll be sharing with you what blockchain really means. Um, my blockchains, they are a list of records called blocks. Now they are saved publicly and in chronological order. Blocks chain, blockchain. Now the reason why it is being called blockchain is because these blocks which contains list of records, all right, they are linked together. That is where the chain comes in. The way chains are interwoven, where they go in straight line. That is this what how it works with blockchain also. The blocks contains list of records, and each blocks are linked together, which is where the blockchain comes in. Now, information in blockchain they are encrypted using cryptography. Cryptography is to ensure that the privacy of the user of the person who initiated the transaction is kept secured and it is not leaked out. So yeah, that is one of a major feature of the blockchain. Another thing to note about blockchain is the fact that central authority do not have access over blockchain. What I mean is that the blockchain is accessible by everyone and it is being controlled by everyone. Let's say, for example, I initiate a transaction now. That transaction would be registered on the blockchain, and every participant of the network, as long as they have access to the network, they have a ledger. That means they have the transaction I just initiated. So it is being distributed to each person and then it remains there. It cannot be tampered with. Everybody has access to it. So that is one big feature about it. So this means when it comes to blockchain, it means one central authority, or let me say little group of people, can't just decide to remove a transaction. It can't happen that way because everybody, it is already registered on the blockchain and everyone has access to it. So basically that is a big feature of blockchain. And then one very funny way, or let me say cool way of looking at it is you can describe blockchain as a Google Sheet. When it comes to Google Sheets, you can enable people to check. Now look at it in the sense that a Google Sheet where everyone has access to, but on a view only. In the sense that you can just look at it, you cannot like touch whatever it is, you can't tamper with it, you can't alter it, but you can view it. That is one way of looking at blockchain. But in this sense, shows that that's how it's been worked. So there is no single point of failure. The reason why is this because it is not be controlled by one central authority. You can't just attack them because almost every participant, in fact not almost every participant, has a record of the transaction. So you can't just attack a database and feel like you've attacked the blockchain. No, it doesn't work that way. Now we'll talk about distributed ledger. Now one big thing about distributed ledger is that um, all blockchains are distributed ledgers, but not all distributed ledgers are blockchain. Not all distributed ledger needs to use cryptography. It doesn't need to have consensus mechanism, just like blockchain. So distributed ledger is a way where you can spread ledgers around for everybody. Everybody becomes a witness, just like I explained earlier. But the difference between distributed ledger and blockchain is that the blockchain is like a subset of a distributed ledger in the sense that distributed ledger is like the wider scope of it, where blockchain is just like under it. Blockchain uses cryptography, it uses consensus mechanism, but not all distributed ledgers use what blockchain does. So let's say all blockchain are distributed ledgers, but not all distributed ledgers are blockchain. So another thing to look about is consensus mechanism. When we talk about consensus mechanism, just like the names entails, is just a way of agreeing among participants about how data would be handled. What I mean is that as I explained earlier, it's a list of records, people initiate records is being stored publicly and chronological order. But there must be a way where people decide how this thing works. If there are going to be changes, if there are new things to be introduced to it, since there is no central authority in this case, people have to find a way of agreement. That is where consensus mechanism comes in. There are different type of consensus mechanism. We have the proof of stake, proof of work, and others. But the common ones majorly are the proof of stake and proof of work. We also have practical Byzantine tolerance. Sorry, I meant practical Byzantine fault tolerance. There are many more out there, but those three are like the major one. But proof of work and proof of stake are like the commonest one. The reason is blockchain make use of proof of work. Ethereum used to use proof of work, but now it has shifted to proof of stake. What this means is, I would explain further. Proof of work is a type of consensus mechanism where miners, they are required to solve a quiz before they get to mine Bitcoin. This quiz are hard, and then it takes a lot of power to get this done. And then, but once a miner solves the quiz, the person can go ahead to mine the blocks, which means add enough transactions to the blockchain and thereabouts. So a proof of work is a way of maintaining the blockchain space. Ethereum started with this too, but when it saw that the computational power is a bit much, it's moved to proof of stake, where in this case, instead of miners, we now have validators. Validators are the ones that make most of these changes in terms of adding transactions to the networks and thereabouts. So, consensus mechanism is a way of maintaining data integrity of those that will be adding transaction to the network, the right blocks. If someone is trying to cheat or game the system, the consensus mechanism makes sure that those people are being checked. So basically, in my week one, I learned about blockchain, learned about the difference between distributed ledger and the blockchain, and also about consensus mechanism. I learned about it in depth. Thank you.